Let's select a gambit. We could either select lender's gambit or supplier's gambit. Let's go with lender's gambit, so that my lowest cost card would cost 1 less power. My first opponent is black king. I draw a pawn, let's place it right there, and at the same time I'm going to push my king towards the center, because in our time the board will start shrinking, and also want to take over the center of the map to be more in a dominating position. Now let's place a rook threatening my opponent's king immediately. I'm going to push my king towards the center again. Let's see, right while my opponent moves his king away. Now let's place a 0 cost pawn. I'm going to place it right there. And let's push towards the center again. Alright, my opponent puts a knight threatening to take over my rook. I'm going to place a bishop threatening my opponent's king. And since I have to move out with my rook, I'm going to place it right there, guys. So then I'll be able to go up and threaten my opponent's king again. I do not have enough power for either of these cards, so I'll just simply skip and place my rook over there, threatening my opponent's king. He puts a pawn, guys, alright, and he covers his king with his knight. My king is in check, so I have to move it away or just simply take my opponent's knight down. I'll select a pawn, I'll place it right there. And right there, what I have to do is to take over my opponent's knight, and let's see what will he do, guys. He goes up. So far my situation is much better. I'll just simply put a knight, and right there I'll take my opponent's pawn, at the same time placing a protection for my rook. Let's check in. Now this pawn is threatening this pawn, which is protecting my rook, so how to overcome that. Now I'm not going to place bishop, I'm be waiting to develop my queen, so let's skip. And right there this pawn is basically free. As if my opponent takes over this rook, then I just simply take his king. Let's skip the card deployment phase again, and right there I'm just simply taking over my opponent's knight. Let's go. Right, and my opponent puts bishop right there, guys. He would like to take over this pawn. Let's actually place another pawn right there. And right there I have to move out my rook. Let's place it right there. My opponent will take over his pawn, but I do not care, guys. I took even better pieces of him. And at the same time, I'm just simply able to take over this pawn, which is good. Now I can place my queen. Let's threaten my opponent's bishop. Let's pin it. As basically right where I go to take over my opponent's pawn. And I pin his... and I check his king. So basically he's forced to move out. And this way I get his bishop for free. Let's go. My opponent places another bishop, guys, and alright, why is he giving it away for free to me? Let's skip this, let's just simply take it like that. Let's go, thank you very much. You're very generous, black. Right there you can just simply take over my pawn in return. Now let's skip this, and right there I'm just simply going to place my queen right there. Let's go. Right there my opponent takes over this knight, but that's fine. I'll just simply take over this. My opponent places a pawn, guys, alright, and puts my king in check, so right there I have to move out. I'll just simply take over this piece. I think that's what I'm going to do. I could also place an additional rook. Let's do it. And let's just simply take over my opponent's pawn for free. He develops another pawn. Alright, puts me in check again. I'll place this knight. And just simply take over this pawn like that. Now my opponent cannot retake over it, because if he does, then I just simply take my opponent's king. That's where I've got a pawn, which is not really needed for me at the moment, so let's skip it. Let's just simply put my opponent's king in check, so this way he wouldn't be able to take over my bishop. Let's go. Now let's place a pawn right there. And right there I'm going to take over this pawn like that. Basically this pawn will be protecting my bishop. Let's go, and my opponent is running out of pieces right there, I see. Now our time is in 2 turns, guys, so right there I should avoid being in these squares, in the edges and the sides. Right there I'll skip this, and I'll move my queen right there. Okay, over time, guys, alright. As you can see, those red squares will be taken down now, so should be very careful with that, guys. Right there, let's just skip it, let's just simply take over this. Let's go. My opponent is in check, and alright, he moves his king next to my king, guys, and you know what does it mean? I just simply take my opponent's king with my king. Let's go. First enemy defeated. Let's continue, and let's defeat another boss. Now recruit or remove a unit. I could choose princess, ruby, or copper. Let's go with princess. Next opponent, and that's king regent, another king. This time, as you can see, it got plebeian. Let's see, right, well, let's test this new piece out. Let's just place it right there, guys. Let's go princess. Let's just simply put my king right there. My opponent puts a knight, pushes his king towards the center as well. Now I'll develop a pawn. Let's go with it right there, guys. Let's push my king towards the middle again. Okay, well, my opponent is threatening to take this king with his knight. Right there, let's just simply move my king away, guys, and right there I'll threaten to take my opponent's knight, but right there, okay, he goes with plebeian, guys. As you can see, plebeian covers those 3 squares. Let's go with pawn, let's threaten my opponents. And let's make a move with princess, let's place it right there. Let's see, my opponent puts a plebeian. Right, puts my king in check. I'll have to move it out from this square. Let's go with another princess. I'll place it right there. And since I have to move my king, I'm going to place it right there. Let's see another pawn by my opponent. He puts my king in check. Let's place another 0-cost pawn bow and I'll place it right there. And since I have to move my king, I'm going to put it right there. Let's see another pawn by my opponent. He goes right there. And it seems like right where he falls for a trap, guys, it looks like my princess would be able to take over it. I guess let's just simply continue developing more pawns. And right where I'll just simply take over my opponent's knight. He's basically giving it away for me for free. Let's go. Thank you very much, black. Right, well, he threatens my other princess right there, which is basically a 3-piece for me. I can take over this plebeian, guys, right? As you can see, this plebeian doesn't cover this square. Let's actually go with a rook, or in this case, bishop might be even better. Let's just simply place my bishop right there, and let's take over my opponent's plebeian. Let's go. Right, so far my opponent is losing big time. He even moves away with his king, guys. Got super scared. Let's actually push this pawn a little bit towards the center. Let's see, my opponent places a plebeian. I'll just simply push my king right there, towards more to the center. Alright, so now my opponent is threatening to take down his princess, so I'm going to move it out. Let's actually place a rook right there. And now we have to make this move, guys. Let's just simply put it right there. My opponent puts a bishop. What does he want to do, guys? Alright, so moves with plebeian. Right there it covers those 3 green squares. Let's keep this and let's push this pawn a little bit further, guys. If my opponent takes it with his plebeian, and I just simply take it with my pawn. Let's place another pawn right there, guys. And right there I have to move with this. I'll just simply place it right there. My opponent puts a knight. Right, and threatens this princess again. Let's put a rook in, and this time I think I'm moving to this place once, so he would stop threatening it. Let's go. Right, he pushes this pawn, guys. Alright, so he cannot stop threatening my princess right there. Let's go with a pawn. Or maybe not. Right there, it's getting kinda crowded, so let's just simply skip it. And actually, this pawn is free. Let's take it. My opponent puts a bishop, and right, threatens my opponent cannot stop threatening my princess. Let's go with a knight. Let's skip the card deployment phase. I'll just simply take over this free bishop. Thank you very much, my opponent. I'm not sure why are you giving me away those pieces. Let's skip this one again. Let's put my princess into this safe square. Let's do it. My opponent, alright, well, my opponent goes with his bishop. Now our time is coming soon, guys. I should look forward to move out this princess right there, if possible. But first of all, I have to move my rook. Let's skip this. But let's actually save this rook, guys. I think let's do it. My opponent develops a pawn. Right, I see. Okay, well, he threatens my king, guys. Right, I see what it was. I just simply put a pawn right there. And I'm going to move my king away. Alright, so plebeian, another plebeian right there, guys. He wants to take over my rook. Not good at all. Let's skip this. And let's move with my king. Let's move with my rook. My opponent deploys another pawn, guys. Alright, well, he takes over this piece, which is fine. Now it's over time, guys. Right there, both squares will drop, so unfortunately I cannot take over this plebeian, because otherwise I'll lose my princess right there. But as you can see, my opponent's king is crowded. My opponent will lose by default, it seems. Let's skip this, and right there I'll be just simply saving this, guys. Let's just place my princess right there. Let's go. And, alright. My opponent takes over this, guys. I'll just simply take plebeian with this pawn. Let's go. Overtime is with 5, guys. If my opponent doesn't move out his king, he just simply loses the game. Now let's go. I'll take another plebeian once again. Thank you very much, my opponent. Thank you very much. Right, so a bishop move, guys. He puts it into a danger zone for some reason. Let's skip this. Let's actually put my king right there, guys. into a more safer place. Right, so key my opponent loses. His king eyes and I win.